Dave Scott back with Justin from Elevation Homes. Justin, I watched your video the other day on the home you're building on Angle Road in
Yes, sir.
Waterford. I was really impressed. Great job, man. And walking it through and sort of showing the folks. Yeah, I mean, you're only framing, but it was such a good walkthrough that gave me the idea. I could see the home, like you said, when you're talking about the windows and the space and the high ceilings. I felt really comfortable in it. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that because when you do that, when you're building a new home and you're walking through like that, it's pretty cool that I could visually see what you
Right.
were thinking. And I thought, wow, what a great concept to sell homes if people want to come out and take a look at the home on Angle Road in Waterford. And I caught that. I think it was on
Yeah,
your Instagram, elevation underscore home
you got it.
underscore design.
Yep.
Great, great, man. Thanks for doing that. Let's talk about when you build a new home like that and what goes into it because it's a big investment. You've got her
Yeah,
out on
no,
the market.
absolutely. I mean, and it's I realize not everybody, including myself, has the time to sort of do these things every single time. However, with the advent of social media and stuff like that, I mean, we have done this in the past where we, especially if it's an item for sale, we like to try to get obviously people interested from the right from the foundation stage all the way through, or if it's in the case of it, we're doing a reno that's going to be for sale up in Brantford right now, and we're about to do the same kind of walkthrough up there because it's going to be we're going to turn that one over 1989 custom house that we're going to be turning that one over into a Miami modern house, and that thing is going to be up for sale shortly as well. But these walkthroughs, they're nice because I try to bring people into the space and kind of get them to see what I saw when I put this thing on computer for the first time, given the views. I mean, every house and every big, addition reno that we do, I'm all about, what I'm looking at first, and then we start designing the space around it. So, I mean, if we've got a little, even if it's in a subdivision, if we've got a little tidbit of a view that we can focus on, then we start pointing the whole building towards that stuff. I mean, you got to wake up to it every morning, right? So, and the nice thing too about doing the walkthroughs at the different stages is that, I mean, we're not doing anything here. I mean, you're looking at everything that you're looking at the structure. I mean, I realize it's a bit quick, but I mean, you're seeing what quality and that we're putting into the house and where, and if it's a house we're putting a lot into the sort of structure and the infrastructure, I mean, you're going to see that. And then when it comes to the finishes and stuff like that, we kind of leave that up to we do leave it open for a certain amount of time if these things are for sale, so that we have the opportunity to pick different finishes and things like that. I mean, not everything's going to be my taste, so so this one will go into a drywall box, and then we'll do another walkthrough, right?
But I had a great country view. I loved all the windows that when you walk through that you talked about how many
Right.
windows you're putting in. And the other thing that really I always appreciate is high ceilings. Let's talk a little bit about high ceilings for a minute because it just you don't feel claustrophobic then. Like it opens up the whole house.
Absolutely. I mean, on a 2-story, it's I think it's pretty much a given these days. Like all the
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's a master builder or independent custom guy, I mean, it's to pop that extra foot or foot and a half even, it totally transforms the whole space, and it gives you that it gives you space that you can't, you don't even know where it's coming from, kind of thing, but it definitely makes it feel just that much bigger. So the combo in that place with doing the girder trusses, and so we have no bulkheads, no beams, no drop bulks, nothing. And then having the ceilings at 9'2", I mean, it feels really grand. I mean, it feels way more than what it is. I mean, it now feels like a $3 million house instead of a $1 million house kind of thing. But yeah, it does make, and my windows can all be taller as well. So like I'm Dr. Window.
Yeah.
So I can have them all just that little bit taller, transoms over the doors. You have room for all that kind of stuff, right?
And I noticed in the bedrooms you turn the windows, which I thought was really cool. I like that concept. Like if I ever did build a house, I would definitely go that way. It just seems, again, probably more light, longer light, I
Yeah.
guess, and just
Well,
a better
it's
view.
true. I mean, but having those windows are handy for many reasons. In a country setting, the limiting distances are less of a concern. But if that was in the city, um, typically, there's distances that in between two buildings that give you some restrictions on glazing or on windows. So sometimes
Yeah.
those little skinnies can still get you light and a bit of a view without encroaching on the building code. You know what I mean? So you can still get a window in a place where there's maybe not supposed to be. But in this case, they are there for the light, the view of the upper canopy on that lot, and we don't want to take up bed space where potential beds, dressers, all these wall pieces would have to go. So when you're doing huge windows like what we've done in there, that are almost, we're pretty much floor to ceiling in some of these windows. I mean, we're robbing a lot of furniture space. So on the walls that don't have them, but we still want light, we tuck those windows up high. Then you can get furniture underneath, and you still can set up the room the way you want it, kind of thing, right?
And with the quality of windows that you buy and use, I mean, you're just letting in so
Yeah.
much more natural light. You're saving on other utilities, really, because it'll flood those rooms and just look beautiful. Like I'm a big natural light guy myself, and I greatly appreciated when I saw what you were doing to that house and how much light you were actually going to get. And we didn't even talk about the basement. You got a garage on this one as well,
no,
correct?
There's again the basement's slightly over height. It's I believe we're like 8'6" in the basement. Again, it'll be all, there won't be any bulkheads in the basement weighing it down. It's going to get roughed in for a bathroom. It won't be finished for the sale, but there's the option, obviously. And that'll add you another, almost another 1,000 square feet. There is an attached garage that is basically a single and a half, single and a quarter, because we've used some of that space for our breezeway that goes to the mudroom. But we also have a 24 by 24 shop on that property that we're renovating, and it's a fully insulated shop. It's cathedral ceilings in the inside. So when that thing's done, now you've got your little attached storage, but this shop which will actually enter from the second end of the driveway. It's going to be a hooped driveway, so you'll have all that space too. And I mean, so there's no shortage of. I mean, everybody could use a bigger shop, but since it's there,
right?
We're going to renovate it and do the same siding just so it matches, right?
Yeah, that's really cool. I really appreciate, how long would it take you to get to that point? Because you hear so much, flack about how long it takes now to build a house because of the lumber shortages and prices. How long does it take to get something like that to that point, framed in like that?
I could have it, because we're more or less like we'll be doing the roof next week. I could make that go as fast or as slow as possible at this point because we're kind of over the hump of the structure. So I mean that could be done by Christmas quite easily. But generally, once you've got your permit in your hand, I mean, it can be done. A custom can be done in 7 months, and I'm talking like a mid-level custom. I'm not talking like a 7,000 square foot monster, right? But no, your average 2 to 2,500 square foot house, you can get her done in 7 months if everything lines up. But I mean, there's no doubt it can easily take a year. But but generally speaking, you can make it happen in 7 months. I mean, I've done it before, but I've also had ones that dragged on for a year and a half. So, but no, I mean, so this one here, I mean, once we're at this stage, I kind of got a bunch of boys waiting in the wings that we could just hammer down on it if that was the case, and it would come together pretty quickly because it's kind of an easy house. I mean, I try not to design them very difficult. I mean, I want design, but I don't want design that it starts killing the cost, the function, because when you make them kind of a little bit easier to build, frame, drywall, again with the girder trusses. All right, maybe the girder trusses were a bit more money, but now all my mechanical and utility guys are like, they're in heaven because there's holes everywhere, right? and it's like it just speeds the whole process up. Same with the drywall. There's no bulkheads, and a lot of people don't realize that a bulkhead with corner beads and all the rest of that. Average taper they'll tape a 20 by 20 wall in, let's say, 2 hours. Mud and tape, first coat, all the rest of that. One bulkhead, 10-foot bulkhead, will take the same amount of time. Right.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Right. And that's just
Right.
cost added on. You always seem like when we started talking about this today, you seem super excited because I guess because they're your babies, you design them, right? And you've been doing this for a long time. And you talked a little bit about that in your other video about how, we're making these things more efficient the way I envisioned. And I appreciate that kind of honesty about what you're doing. Has it always been there, that passion? Like when do you get excited to build a new house?
No, anything. I mean, when it's a decent size, I mean, to be honest with you, I still love a solid powder room renovation from time to time, right? I mean, they don't pay very well, but no, I mean, I have an architecture background. I just didn't choose to do it as my my career. I mean, I'd rather be on the build side, but I mean, I spent many a GO train ride to Ryerson University when it was Ryerson University, doing the architecture program. I mean, I have the interior design program from Sheridan College. So, I mean, when I was a kid, honestly, Dave, I mean, I was a bit of an art student. It's just in my case, I mean, I liked anything technical and creative. I liked mechanics, and I liked watercolor. That was my big thing. I mean, at the time, graphic arts. I mean, anything like that. But what I funneled it into was, I funneled the mechanics part into mechanics. I mean, I pretty damn good on the wrench. I mean, we work on motorcycles here and cars and all the rest of that stuff all the time. But the art thing, it eventually funneled into the houses because the mechanics falls into the building. I mean, a lot of these trades cross over. I mean, I don't know a good mechanic that can't build a deck, and I don't know a good framer that doesn't do his own spark plugs. You know what I mean? A lot of these skills can transfer once you get moving on them. So for me, it was the art thing was just like I started drawing houses, and then I started modifying those drawings and kind of making them and trying to sort of teach myself in the early days, what would work, what wouldn't work, and so on and so forth. And then once you go to school for it, they kind of put all the puzzle pieces in and be like, okay, well, that looks really cool, but it would really suck on a Sunday morning if you trip over it, kind of thing, right? Things like that, and that's what the education brings to it. But yeah, and now I just love, so now the way that works is I don't do the architectural drawings. I do the concept. So I go and sketch it off a lot. I'll put it into a 3D program and we create a 3D model of it. And then, if it's for us, then, I mean, we make all the own decisions. If it's for somebody else, then, I take the 3D model and be like, okay, what do you think of this? Then we take it to sort of a design architect. And we have two guys that we work with, in-house here, and they put it into AutoCAD and they do the details and they make it a real deal, something that we can work with. Right.
That's cool. Tell the folks where this house is if they want to go take a look, and I'll let you go. I know it's the end of the week. You probably want to get your Friday done so you can get on with the weekend.
Still got a bit of a storm brewing today, but we'll get through it. A couple water leaks we got to fix and things like that. But yeah, so this is on Angling Road in Waterford. I mean, you can't miss it. I've got all my signs. I mean, it's caged in right now. So I mean, if you have to message me or email me if you want to go have a look. But I mean. Yeah. Almost, I can't say that I'm around a lot, but I mean, we have a realtor involved. So, I mean, between him and me, if anybody just wants to go and again, you don't have to be super interested in buying it, but if you just want to go have a look, I mean, I don't even care if you want to go see how it's framed. I mean, if you're interested in the framing, I can show you, walk you through it and show you how and why we do certain things and so on and so forth. Right. And then, but it's, I mean, so just send me a message if you need to, or Mark Stockdale is the realtor involved, and so he's he's available. I think his Instagram, I can't remember it, but it's attached to one of my posts somewhere. But yeah, and
Great.
yeah, we can show you around.
And it won't last long.
Yeah.
That's the other part is your new houses don't last long in Norfolk. So that one will be gone quick, folks. But Justin's always available.
There's some guys that have built some new stuff lately in and around Norfolk and Brant. The killer with this one, that once the kind of word gets out there is that, this lot is almost unattainable. And this is a Waterford address. We are like 3 minutes from town. You can still ride your bike from this place and go into town on a Thursday night, because we do music in the streets in Waterford on every Thursday. And it is, if you've never been to that, regardless of any house stuff,
it's pretty cool.
If you've never been to that, it's pretty insane. It's everything that a small town is about on one block, right?
Yeah.
So
that's pretty fun.
We did it the other night, and because I try to do it as much as I can, but we're never here.
Is that house on town water, or is it septic and well?
That is septic and well. Yeah, 100%.
All right,
but we're doing a pretty hefty septic there. It's not. It's a very, I call it a city septic, because it's a good size that it's not something that you're going to be into. It's like every 3 years. It's not like anything. It's going to feel like city. And I did that. My own house is the same way. My wife didn't want to know the difference. You know what I mean? She wanted to be able to nope, take as long a shower as you want. The septic can handle it, blah, blah, blah. And so that's what we did over there too.
All right. I'll let you go. Have a great week. Stay out of trouble, and check out that home, folks. Elevation Home Design. Check it out. Take care, bud.